share one quick thing as Brother Jamoke was speaking. I think it's necessary to point something out. There's a whole lot of people that believe a whole lot of things that are in this space right now. And I was kind of chuckling with Attorney Maoli Davis, when Jamoke was teaching. Our community is a diverse community. We're not a monolithic people. And there's something to be said for the amalgam of people who are in this room coming together. This is a powder keg ready to explode. If you look at a book called The FBI, and Dr. Martin Luther King, professor over at Emory, wrote the book. In the foreword of a book, there is a memo from Hoover, and the memo says, if Michael King and Stokely Carmichael meet one more time, we're going to have to kill both of them, because we will have on our hands a real Mau like what took place in Kenya. It's all right for him to talk his stuff over here and him to talk his stuff over here, but if they ever come together, and so I'm happy when the black nationalists and Pan-African and Christian and Muslim and Buddhist communities coming together, because we recognize that there's no task more sacred than the liberation of oppressed people. And so I give God praise for everything that has been said in this space on this evening. We're now going to receive our Sister Frida Waiters, and let's make sure that we receive her with loving hand claps of praise, with the love that's inside of all of us. While we might not be able to say that we know exactly how she feels, because most of us do not, we can give this sister the skill that she needs for her life.
Last Friday, we went to talk to Paul Howard, the district attorney. And he stated that my son had done nothing wrong. He also stated that he sent the news that my son was running from the police officer. But the truth is, he wasn't running. He was standing still on the side of an apartment. Luther Lewis, what actually happened was some kids, young girls were fighting, and someone shot up in the air the brother of one of the girls. And the kids scattered, and everybody went to running. But my son was standing still. So that story that was told that he was running from the police officer, that's not the truth. The truth is he was standing. Luther came up out of nowhere, saw my son standing there, and because my son had the tattoo, I guess he picked him out. And as my son started to walk fast towards like an alley that leads him to where he was actually staying to get over from the complex apartments to get over to the houses, he ran, he started walking through the alley. The police officer followed him, chased him down, grabbed him, put the handcuffs on him. On one hand, on the left arm, leaving the other one out. And it was said that his hand touched some of his DNA was there on the gun. That was probably placed there.
Yes.
How it don't even make sense. Luther Lewis was over 300 and some pounds. My son is only 164 pounds. This big old man jumped on my son's back, held him down, and shot him in the back. And the police department covered it.
Wow.
But district attorney said he didn't do anything wrong. And it was going to be okay. And he flipped it.
Wow.
My son had a mental problem. He had bipolar. He struggled up and down. He had problems with the law. But he still don't have anything to do with why he was shot down. You know, we raise our kids and we do the best we can in raising them. And I know and God knows what I did for my son. And they don't always turn out the way you want them to. But he didn't deserve what he got. He got 2 shots in the back. When I went into the district attorney's office, he said, it's going to be all right. And his assistant district attorney said, it wasn't his, we made our decision to take this and get an indictment. We see the indictment. But in what they saw, they didn't do. He said his mental state of mind, because I asked him, do I need to use that? Because they asked me to come and talk in front and represent my son and myself in front of the grand jury. He said, don't worry, you don't have to worry about the mental. We didn't base our decision on that. But when I got in that grand jury, in front of the grand jury, they asked me questions like, how did I feel when my son had the tattoo across his face? Which I was appalled. But he had said I wasn't going to ask those kind of questions. What schools did my son attend? Was he aggravated? And did he cause any problems in school? My son's legal problems did not happen until he was 18. He was on medicine when he was up under my care. When he turned 18, he said, I don't want to take this medicine anymore. It makes me feel funny. So he stopped taking his medicine. He was an AB student in school when he was under the medication. But all of the above that I'm telling you, they kept asking questions. Well, what is your son when he's irritated, when he's off the medicine? Is he a different person? We're talking in front of the grand jury. You introduced 4 pictures of my son. 2 I brought with me, and 2 he had. And one he had was something that's been placed in the papers, in various things. It was one with him having his hand up like this with a black glove on, and with the tattoo. This is in the grand jury, so you plotted, you planned to make him look bad, so that you had no intention of my son, the police officer that shot him, being indicted. My son, like I said, is not perfect. He had his problems, but nobody is. God and Jesus is the only one that's perfect. And God made the world. But my son stole my sister's car when she went on her vacation. They asked about that. Anything he can do the demeanor of my son and the family, it was sad. And he asked it out in front of the jury. And as I'm telling you now, just like, I don't know a lot of you all out here, your kids, you probably have, some of you all may have the same problems. It don't make you a bad parent.
That's right.
You do the best you can. Every individual is his own person.
That's right.
We live in this world and we try to do good by everybody. But it's sad, at this time in the world, in year 2012, black people are treated like trash. And nothing is done.
That's right.
But it don't make me hate anybody. I'm going to continue to pray. And I'm going to continue to pray as I did for Luther Lewis and his family. Because see, when it's all is said and done, I may not get justice here, but this world is on its way to an end. And God the Father is going to see fit that a lot of people don't exist. Only the good, only His people will make it in. So if you're not living your life right, only God up in heaven can see. He's the only one that knows. The face we show and we smile in front of people, watch out, God sees everything. The corner, the booth, and the dog. But as I close, I just want everybody to know, thank you all for coming here.
So well.
This was Harrison's stepfather, Russell, and he wanted to say something too.